When your best friend becomes a stranger, it's a different type of heartbreak. Hi, I'm Lauren, and this is Love Lauren. Today we're talking about friendship breakups because no one prepares you for a friendship breakup, but they can hurt just as much as a romantic breakup. I've actually had friendship breakups hurt worse than a romantic one. Within the past 2 years, my friendship breakups haven't even been that dramatic. It's just kind of faded into you don't even know this person anymore. But in that silence, it can be just as painful as a big blow up, which I have had happen as well. Maybe you're missing your old inside jokes, your routines that you had with them, and the missing they knew everything about me. That can be really hard to go through. I have found myself in this situation so many times where I keep going back on if I said the right thing, if I should have tried harder, like where it all went wrong. But sit back and realize that a relationship is two sides and you cannot blame yourself for all of it a lot of the time, especially with social media being so big. I have had so many friendships where they get brought up on social media, and I'm sure that's happening if you're still in school and like people are realizing that you're not posting with them anymore. Like social media adds like this extra little aspect of it where it can be harder for you to move on, especially if you've been hurt by your friend. But sometimes friendships can end and there's no bad guy. You can still wish them well, think about them often. Not every friend is meant to be forever, but that does not lessen the time and energy that you spent with that person. Pretty sure I said this in my breakup one. Mute them, unfollow them if that's what you're really wanting to do. Maybe write them a letter. Don't send it. Just write them a letter. Maybe just journal out your thoughts and just your feelings towards the situation. Lean on other friends at this time, but don't gossip about it. It's completely different when you're just like gossiping about it versus when you're really just needing someone to lean on. Don't isolate yourself at this time. Personally, majority of my friendship breakups happened over one small thing, and I wish that I wouldn't have let that affect our relationship for the rest of our years. I've reached back out to people. I have apologized, especially ones that like ended in high school. I think about those girls so often. I wish them well. I'm friends with them on Facebook and just like see how their life is unfolding, and I am not part of their life anymore. However, you can still love them from afar and still appreciate the time that you had with them. Some people are for chapters and not the whole story, and that's okay. Love, Lauren.
So my best friend and I are in a bit of a fight right now, and I need to know if I'm the asshole, okay? Sit down. Her and I have been friends for 22 years. 22 years at this point in our lives. Love her to death. She has even worse taste in men than my mother, and that is absolutely saying something. She's in the middle of a divorce. A seemingly ugly divorce. It's getting pretty ugly. The marriage was even uglier, but that's a whole other story. She's had her first preliminary custody hearing, and she's already in a new relationship with husband 2.0. He's a younger, dumber, lookalike wannabe of this guy. And like, that's okay. That in itself is frustrating, right? But the kicker part of it all is that this guy's already met her child. And that's the part where I kind of snapped on her. She has a very vulnerable child. I've made another video about her and her son. He has autism. And like, talk about like the most vulnerable child, right, is a child on the spectrum, because they tend to not say anything. They're typically nonverbal, like level 2 and level 3s. And predators see them as prey. You see a single mother, a recently single mother, and you see them as prey. They have a child, and women who lead with their children and their new relationships end up getting their children hurt or killed. I've seen enough documentaries. I've known enough personal stories of like friends or family members where this has happened to, and she never listens to reason. I told her this was going to happen. I told her not to do this. She did it anyway behind my back, and I found out on Facebook. I don't even have Facebook. I re-downloaded Facebook because my siblings were telling me our mom was posting some like crazy stuff. So I downloaded it, and the first thing I see is her cover picture, and it's this new guy and her son. The lore behind this too is crazy because I had watched her son for a couple days so she could go out and like relax. The 3 years that her son has been alive, her ex-husband never wanted to watch her son alone. So she has been mommy mode every single day, 365 for 3 years. So I was like, 100% girl, go have fun. Go take, 3 nights, 4 days, go have some fun. In that meantime, me and my family and our kids got sick. So when she came back, she just got her son and left. But then she stopped answering my phone calls. I was like, and she's supposed to be driving back to Arizona. And so I'm sitting there like super worried about her. I'm like, what's going on? Like, where is she? Did they crash? Before, like, at least someone would have her location. Like, she turned her location off on me. And I'm like, what's going on? And then, like, I'm piecing it together after I see this picture. She drove straight to, I don't want to say where this kid lives, but it's like 2 hours away, definitely not in the direction of home. And she, like, again, like, your kid's already going to sit in the car for like 8 hours for a drive, and you're going to add on to that to go see a guy that apparently, like, you just left and introduce, like, okay, her and this guy met online. So she's convinced she knows this guy. She's convinced she knows a guy she met on the internet, okay? They have met once. I don't know if you count that other time as twice, but now they're officially dating. They're officially in a relationship. And her argument to me is that he's good with children. This guy looks like a, okay? He looks like a predator. He just does. There is a type. There is a type of guy that she goes for, and they look like they all are in, like, biker gangs. But, like, the one who gets punked on in the biker gang, like, they're not even, like, the leader of it. They're, like, this small little baby fish of it. They project as weak men who can't provide anything, who are looking for mommies. And here she is again in another one of these relationships. So I text her, boom. She immediately goes on the defense. You tell me what to do, and mom tells me what to do. You don't know him like I do. He's a good guy. He loves children. And I'm like, babe, creeps love children. And you sound like you're 15. Like, I know him like I do. I've known you for 22 years. I've known you your entire life. You are constantly in these relationships with these man children. And then when it goes south, because it's like she's looking for like a cheap roommate, right? Like, that when things go south, she has to pack her bags and she has to leave. Like, I have helped this girl move out of these bad relationships more times than I can tell you. So I feel like I have a right to be frustrated. I am also sitting here actively helping her with her current divorce. I am the godmother of her son. I feel I have a right to be upset for, one, you lying to me, and two, you putting your son, my godson also, in a vulnerable and dangerous position. She completely goes off on me. We go back and forth on the phone. Also, mind you, at this point, she's still not answering my phone calls. She will only text me, which I'm like, coward. Just answer. Like, you know what I'm going to say, and that's why you don't want to answer the phone. I'm not trying to be your mom, but I am your best friend. And sometimes those two things can, like, they cross and they just don't translate right. And, like, if you know me as a friend, like, I don't have a ton of friends because I am such a good friend. I'd say I make friends easily, but I give 110% into all my friendships. Like, you could move into my house. Like, I'm saying, like, I am 100% in with you if I let you into my life and with my family. She is, I would say, the precipice, the top of that, the person I care the most about in this world. And for her to do this, again, after her and her ex, she'd only lived on her, not even on her own, she's living at her mom's, just to, like, which is she could have lived on her own. She's, like, making the right decision to just, like, her ex put her in a lot of debt. She is supposed to be regrouping for a year. She's supposed to regrouping for a year and then go back into nursing school. She didn't last 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And I put that in my text. I'm like, are you guys going to move in together? She didn't even say no. She's like, what I decide to do with whatever makes me happy is my decision. It makes me sad that you're not happy about my happiness. Also, she was responding. The first response she made was with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, to your best friend of 22 years, you're going to ChatGPT me? And so I just went off. I just kept going off. I don't know, like, I can admit when I'm being harsh. I was being really, really harsh, but how dare you put me in this position, your mother in this, but your family, everyone who has sat there you are a 33-year-old woman. You're a 33-year-old woman. You're going to put us all through this again with a guy who's much younger than you. He doesn't want to play daddy, okay? He doesn't. He either wants your kid or he gets off on doing this online. There's another red flag about some other girl messaging her online who is another married woman, mind you, but she lives in Oregon. And he's, like, in my opinion, leading on a bunch of women that he meets online and, like, the internet is a place to lie, and I didn't think at her big age I had to explain that to her. The last thing I said, which she hasn't responded to me since, was, have you done a background check on this guy? They're $20 online. Do you want to? He 100% has a criminal history. What is it? And she's like, would it make you feel better if I did it? And I'm like, girl, wouldn't it make you feel better? You're thinking of like moving in with this guy. You're introducing him to the most vulnerable child on the planet. Would it make you feel better? Am I the asshole? Let me know.
So we're not friends anymore. I know like half of TikTok predicted that with my last video, but we're not. I kind of was working under the assumption that she already saw the video because I posted it like, I don't know, like a week ago at this point, but we still haven't talked. She will not answer my phone calls. So I stopped texting her. But anyway, she texted me last night and was basically, again, this text sounds nothing like her, so I'm pretty sure this guy, that like child she is seeing, told her to say it. But she's like, hey girl, saw the video, blah, 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 best we go our own ways. And I was like, yeah, no, for sure. Can we chat on the phone real quick? Before we like basically like end a 22-year relationship, can I finally speak to you? And she was like, basically no. She's like, I cooked, and she's like, your video said enough. Okay, whatever. So I said my piece, and then some weird request came through on my phone, and I guess she accidentally hit the wrong button while blocking me on Facebook. Again, I swear to God, I've never heard Facebook so many times than I did recently with her and this whole stupid thing with this guy. But she blocks me on Facebook, and then I messaged her because she hadn't blocked me on text. My messages still say delivered, and they're still blue. So I was like, thanks for blocking me on Facebook. I've got Instagram, loser. And then, yeah, she blocked me on TikTok, the whole thing. I just want to say a couple more things about this, and then I'm never going to talk about her again. There's no point. Do I think this is actually the end of our friendship? No. We've gotten in fights like this before over the same thing. I know I didn't give a ton of backstory, like airing out her crap here, but her ex, who she is divorcing now, she moved in with him the same day she moved out with another guy, and I helped her move out of that. And the day she moved in with that other guy she lived with, she moved out of another guy the same day. So when I tell you, like, I am exhausted of this, I'm tired of this, and before it didn't really matter because there wasn't a child involved. Now there is. Another thing, and this is, I think I had mentioned, I was like, in my last video, I was like, are you going to let this guy, like, are you guys going to move in together? But then I prefaced the fact that she lives at her mom's, and she had said something like, if and when I decide to let this man move in with me, it's my decision, it's my business. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because you don't even live alone. And then when she messaged me yesterday, she's like, and I just put my son's name to bed, in my own place. And I'm thinking like, yo, she already moved out of her mom's where she was supposed to be like paying off debt and catching up, to live on her own so this guy can move in. She has met this guy twice on the internet, and she moved out of a potentially really good situation to set herself right and start over so this guy can move in with her. I tell you, these like infantile man children looking for mommies, and she's handing herself there on a plate asking to do it. So I digress. That's what she's doing. I feel like, you know, that corkboard thing, and it's like piecing it all together. I'm like, she has been doing this secretly and moving like this. Like I feel so stupid saying behind my back, but behind my back, even before the fight started, that this had been in motion, because she had mentioned something like that even before I had posted that video about her. So whatever the case may be, I'm no longer her friend, which, you know, brings up I was talking to my friend about this last night, and she knows my other friend, and she's like, well, what about her son? And I'm like, I'm his godmother. I'm legally his godmother. The one thing, even though her ex and I never got along, they both agreed that if anything were to happen to them, my husband and I would be the best position for their son to go to. So I'm like, do you go see a lawyer again? Like legally, we are his next of kin, not anyone else. So I'm like, you're so mad about me not wanting to validate your relationship. Like, so like what? I'm not his godmother anymore. What exactly does that mean? So she blocked me on social media. So again, like, I don't know, like, I'm close with her family. She's close with my family. Not to say it sounds like a breakup. It feels like a breakup. And I'm like, I'm not sad. I'm pissed. I'm pissed off that she let this child come between us. Whatever. Next question, have I done the background check? No, I haven't. And my husband thinks I should and just send it to her so she can just be like, here's his criminal record. If you still want to move forward, move forward. But like, the thing is, what does that change? If she was going to listen to reason or do anything worthwhile, she would have done it already. So I, like, two things. I did read all your guys' comments. I did. Did it give me clarity? Absolutely. I regret nothing of posting that video. And I saw some things that maybe I saw things after the fact that maybe you guys saw in me and my relationship and my anger towards it that I didn't necessarily see. One girl said, like, whatever you put out into the universe will be reflected back at you. Didn't really understand it at first, and then I was like, like, I am putting way too much effort into something, and that anger is being reflected back at me. Love that. Also, someone said, you cannot care more about her personal life than she does. I don't know why that was oddly profound to me, but it was. I didn't really think about that, and in my closing message to her, I put that in there. I'm like, I cannot care more about you and your well-being and the well-being of your son than you do. Why am I more overly invested in your life than you are? If you want to do this, then you do this, okay? And I do realize I should not have put it on TikTok. Did I know it was going to be the end of my friendship? I kind of did, but I also, at the same time, already knew my friendship was over. At least for now. I can't like move forward with someone who moves that way, and everyone else was like, oh, your morals don't align. That is true, and that is something that is just my personality. I have to align morally with the people that I hang out with, especially when it comes to like motherhood. My friends and I, we all waited till we were like way older to have kids because we wanted to be like the best parents we possibly could. And then to still act and move like a child at this point in our lives is something I'll never understand. Putting your kids in danger is something I'll never understand. Male-centered women, I'll never understand. I don't agree with it. And so I think just right now we have nothing in common. And I would have rather have just paused the relationship and said nothing. I was like, when I hadn't heard from her, I was prepared to go like 6-7 months without hearing from her. And then when this relationship ended, hearing her out and then just kind of like moving forward. But if she wants to like officially end it, then okay. Like I said, I'm not going to block you because you're choosing to end this friendship. But when this implodes, which it will very soon, don't come crawling back to me for help. I'm like, I'll be your friend differently. I'm going to move differently in this relationship if and when this happens, but I'm no longer your savior. I'm like, I retire. No, I don't want to make it sound like it's like super one-sided, like I have just done all this stuff for her and she's done nothing for me. Like we've been friends for as long as we have because we do for each other. Like she literally, my stepdad passed of cancer and she was there living with my mom to help him, like clean up vomit, take him to chemo, all these things. And like, yes, I've helped her move out. And it was a reciprocal friendship. Has she always been when it comes to men? 100. I have my flaws too. I can be a little mean from what I hear. But anyway, that's the end of it. You guys were right on a lot of fronts, wrong on some other ones, but mostly right. And I'm glad I posted it. I'm glad I listened to the advice of the internet, and that's it. Bye, honey. Okay, bye.
Today marks 2 years since my so-called best friend and I have spoken because I decided not to text first. And she never texted me again, so pretty awesome. It's crazy to me because we talked together for 2 entire years and always said that we were in the deep end together. We spent every day together and truly were each other's confidants, and then she ghosted me. If you see this video, I wish you the best.
I used to be friends with someone for 10 plus years, and then she randomly like ghosted me, and I'll never understand why. But I've talked to my therapist about this a lot, and she told me this piece of advice that like kind of fucked me up, but was also necessary for me to hear. She said that sometimes you're friends with people for so long and you remind them about a time in their life that they haven't moved on from, but you have. She was like, first off, they haven't processed that time in their life, but not only that, to see you so far past that time in their life, it's like a really hurtful reminder for them that they're not past it. So when she put into perspective like that for me, it did make a lot of sense as to why this friend that I had just randomly disappeared off the face of the earth, literally, and just stopped talking to me. But yeah, that bit of advice just kind of fucked me up, because I was like, nobody ever trains you on how to deal with a fucking friendship breakup, or how bad heartbreak feels after you lose a friend from that long, and how like all they ever are now is like really good fucking memories, and you have to mourn the loss of someone who's still alive. Yeah, it's really difficult.
This is my painful story of getting over a best friend breakup. My best friend and I traveled the world together, talked on the phone for hours, and knew each other inside and out. I threw her a surprise birthday party in January of last year, and the next day I get a text saying all the reasons she can't stand me anymore, saying we have nothing in common, saying she's been feeling this way for months, and I was so shocked. I was so hurt, and from that day forward, she completely checked out. Whatever love she had was gone, and she really gave me no closure and no peace, and when I tried to ask for it, she said she had nothing left to say. And I've never had a boyfriend, so this was the most painful emotional experience I've ever had in my life. But luckily, almost a year and a half later, I'm finally finding peace. I'm realizing that she no longer served me either, and it's created space for so many new friendships in my life.
If you are going through this right now, I want to remind you that you're not alone. I know the feeling of a knife in your heart, but it's gonna come out and it's gonna make space for new friendships. So keep your head up, keep reminding yourself how worthy you are, and one person's reason for leaving your life doesn't change the value and worth you will bring to someone else's. Love you so much. What?
Story time on why I cut off my then best friend of 7 years. And yeah, I actually wrote some things down on a piece of paper so I don't forget to tell y'all. So our friendship started back in like freshman year of high school. It was like second semester, so this had to be around like 2013. I think we had like an English or a math class together, and she was really cool. Like, she had a super outgoing like personality. Like, I was the exact opposite. I was a super introvert, but for some reason we just really got along. So our friendship really stuck around all throughout high school. She would do like little things in high school that would kind of make me raise an eyebrow. Like, whenever we were like walking together, and mind you, she was popular, she was a cheerleader, I totally get it, but like we would be mid sentence, mid conversation, and she would just dart in the other direction without saying anything. And I always thought that was super weird, because I'm just like, I would never do that to somebody while they're talking. So I overlooked that red flag, and eventually we graduate, and she goes to school like 4 hours away, but she still comes back to see her boyfriend, who lived like 15 minutes from me. So let's just keep that in mind. At the time, I was still living with my parents, and the only time she would like come to town or like ask to see me is when she needed like me and my mom to like pick her up from, I think it was a train station or the flyaway, to go take her to her other friend's house. At no other time during her stay there did she come and hang out with me. She just used me for a ride. It was my mom's car. Fast forward, we're like still friends. We still like talking on a somewhat consistent basis. And whenever she would come out here, she would only come out here to see her boyfriend. And she really wouldn't even tell me that she was coming to town. Like, she would accidentally like tell on herself, like during conversation. She's like, oh, me and my boyfriend did this and this. I'm like, oh, you were just out here? Like, why didn't you say anything? We could have just like hung out. Like, he lives 15 minutes from me, so it's not like you have to go out of your way to come and see me. And mind you, like, we're supposed to be best friends. And it was one specific instance where me and her actually did get the chance to hang out. I had picked her up from her boyfriend's house. We had gone to the mall. We were hanging out. While we were at the mall, it was like two boys. They tried talking to us, but we both brushed it off because we both had boyfriends. There was really nothing to talk about. And then we went to go meet up with both of our boyfriends for lunch. Now, this is like a little bit post-COVID, so you could order food at restaurants, but you really couldn't sit down and eat. So we had to take our food to go, and we were going to go take our food to one of the view spots that we really like to go chill at. On the way to the view, mind you, my boyfriend's driving, I'm sitting in the front seat, and then it's her and her boyfriend in the back seat. She brings up the boys that tried talking to us in the mall, and I don't really like feed into it too much, but like, yeah, they were just trying to talk to both of us, blah blah blah. And this is where it got weird. I get a text from her that she meant to send to her boyfriend, and it said, oh, they were really trying to talk to me, they weren't trying to talk to her. I was like, I literally turn around and show her, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's weird. Like, I'm not even trying to hype it up to make it seem like they were trying to talk to either one of us. They tried to talk to both of us. And why does it matter? Like, we have boyfriends. Like, why does it matter who they're trying to talk to? Like, I just thought that was so weird. So that really, like, killed the vibe after that. And, like, I hate to even be confrontational because we're supposed to be best friends. Like, I don't feel like friendships should ever have to be confrontational whatsoever. But that was some weird ass shit, because what can you have just said out loud if you really want to say something? That was weird. So I let that go. And she would occasionally come and tell me, like, that some people were talking shit about me. I guess, like, some people or guys or girls from high school we went to. Mind you, like, I wasn't really friends with too many people, so you really had to go out of your way to talk shit about me. And she would tell me, oh, yeah, somebody's talking shit about you. They said X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, well, who said it? Oh, I can't tell you that. Why? Like, why can you not tell me? Like, are you not my best friend? Because in my head, if you can't tell me who said it, you must have been sitting in there chiming in on it too. Because as my best friend, you would absolutely let me know, because you couldn't have came to my defense. Because if you were in my defense, you would have told me who said it so we could go handle the problem ourselves. Or at least let me stick up for myself and say something to whoever said it. But no, you want to play both sides, and I don't like people who do that shit. So, like, after that, like, our friendship was slowly kind of, like, coming to an end. Like, the conversations became, like, less and less. It really didn't help that she lived 4 hours away, or went to school 4 hours away. It really didn't help, and it kind of was to the point where I was like, you know what, like, the friendship really isn't there. I feel like it's one-sided. At one point, I felt like I was one always reaching out. She wouldn't reach out too much. Like, the conversation was just dry. I was like, you know what, I'm kind of just going to leave it alone. And we were having a conversation because at the time, like, I had a nail business. I was doing bottle service, like, and I was working. So I had, like, 3 incomes at one time. And I was doing pretty good for myself. Like, I had moved out. Like, I was really on my own. It was me and my boyfriend at the time. Like, it was just us two. And I was making it work. Like, that's just how I had to do it. And it was cool. And she was like, well, you should have just stayed with your parents and stayed so that way you don't have to drop out of school. Mind you, she is the one person. If you saw my original pink tote video, she is the only person outside of the people who lived in my house who saw how badly my stepdad had beat me. Because it was one day when me and her were talking, and she was playing, and she, like, bumped into me, but she bumped into the arm where he peeled the skin off. So I was like, I kind of winced a little bit. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, no. She's like, no, like, why are you, like, wincing like that? So I showed her, like, my arm was bandaged up, like, under my jacket. Like, I showed her the scars, not the scars, but the bruises going all down my leg. She was like, you need to call the police. And so if you're the one person who saw how abusive my stepdad was, why on earth would you ever suggest staying there? I left so that way I could be subjected to any more abuse. And you're going to tell me I should have stayed so I can stay in school? Girl, like, did you touch grass at any point in your life? Because I would never suggest you stay in an abusive relationship so you can stay in school. Like, what? I know, I should have ended right there. I should have ended the friendship, like, right then and right there. But I was like, you know what? Like, maybe she just doesn't understand, like, what I'm going through. But now that I'm older, you absolutely understand. Like, people know what they're saying. They know what they're doing. And this right here was the straw that essentially broke the camel's back. Me and my boyfriend, we were going through something. We had just broken up. Like, and I was just, like, confiding in her. Like, you know, I don't even remember what the conversation really went like. But I was just expressing, like, you know, typical relationship problems, and she snapped on me. I don't want to hear about this nigga no more. I was like, wait a minute. Whenever you come to me with the problem between you and your relationship, do I ever snap at you and tell you I don't want to hear it? No. I sit there and listen, and we could be sitting here for an hour, and all I'm saying is, while you sit here and vent to me. But when I'm venting to you, now it's a problem. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Because I don't let people talk to me any kind of way. I'm sorry. I grew up with really verbally abusive parents, so that's like a trigger for me. You don't get to yell at me. You don't get to snap at me. That's it. I cut it off, right? Cut it off like a dead limb. And I know I'm not the problem because she's reached out to me multiple times over the years trying to, like, apologize and, like, rekindle. And honestly, like, I've ignored all her attempts. Like, there's nothing left to talk about. We're all adults here. And I have never in my life snapped at any of my friends, no matter how much stress I was under, no matter how tired I was of hearing about their problems. You're my friend. Why would I not want to hear about your problem? This is a safe space for you to come and vent to. I didn't have any other, like, real sorts of, like, I didn't have a mom. I don't have a big sister. I don't have a cousin that I can go to. So Low-key, she was kind of like, she was like my outlet. And I'm gonna be real with you, she got a sprinkle of what the fuck I was really going through. I was really taking everything on the chin and not even really telling anybody my problems. I'm over here talking to you about my relationship problems, and you're snapping on me. Yeah, the friendship had to go right then and right there. Like, it was done after that. Like, she's tried to reach out. I don't have nothing to say. Like, and we're all grown now. This happened like, what, 3 years ago? And I'm cool. Like, there's a list, baby. There's a list of egregions. I'm straight.
Hi, it's me. I am puffy and swollen. I cried a little last night. This'll fix it. This time last year, I had to end a 15-year friendship with, I loved this friend so fucking hard. Like, if you want to picture yourself in your old age, some people are like, I picture myself with my husband on a porch in a fucking rocking chair. This bitch would have been in the rocking chair with me. Like, not our husbands. This girl. I had to end our friendship because I was continuously called upon to pick up the pieces from her really shitty marriage. And I realized that I loved her more than she loved her. I wanted more for her than she wanted for her. And I knew that she deserved better than she will probably ever thinks she deserves. And the last thing that she needed in her life was another person co-signing, continuing to accept mistreatment from her spouse. I was never going to be that person. I felt so at peace with my choice when I ended our relationship. I just said that I love you. I wish all the best for you, but I can't continue to support you in making these fucking self-destructive decisions in the name of a fucking relationship. And I was good with that. Like, do I miss her? Yes. Do I miss having to watch her go around and around and around this cycle with this person who very clearly does not love her or respect her? No, I don't fucking miss that shit. I saw her last night at the grocery store for the first time. And I'm sad. That's all. So I got myself a coffee, and it will make me feel better. Happy Tuesday.
My best friend of almost 15 years, or I should say ex-best friend now, is mad at me because I decided to leave her high and dry on a girls trip. Listen, we've been on multiple girls trips together, just the two of us out of our respected states. She's in Missouri, I'm in Colorado. We decided to take another one, but this one didn't go as planned. Let's just say we were out and about, shit hit the fan, and I decided I'm just gonna up and leave. But did I tell her I was leaving? Absolutely not. I just left. Here she is calling me over and over and over again. I eventually answer the phone and she's like, "Where'd you go?" I was like, "I left." She goes, "If you didn't want to be best friends anymore, why didn't you just say anything? Why didn't you just have a conversation with me?" I mean, I'm pretty sure my actions are speaking for themselves at this point. She's now upset at me because I just left her in a place that she's not familiar with all by herself. I just want to say I'm upset with her for even having the audacity to have this type of dream about me. Because in what world would I ever leave you? Do you not realize you are my only friend? Legitimately my only friend. I could never leave you, nor would I ever leave you. What am I gonna do if I don't have you in my life anymore? Needless to say, after having this dream, she woke up mad at me the next day. Guess what? I'm mad at you for even having this dream about me. Freaking audacity.
And it took me a very long time to realize it. And listen, I am the last person to ever think that a bitch is jealous of me. But as I've gotten older, I have realized that it's a thin line between being humble and lacking discernment, okay? A woman being maliciously jealous, because I've already talked about jealousy and envy and how they're natural emotions, and it's all about what you do with those feelings and not externalizing it and putting it on other people. I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm talking about bitches that really be jealous and really like start plotting on you damn near. When it comes to those type of women, there is no amount, you cannot give those type of bitches no type of advice. You cannot check them on no type of bad behavior, because it will always come off as an attack to those type of people. And it's never just going to be a simple conversation. It's going to be this whole entire thing. And then that infamous line is going to come out. And I have had so many people say this to me, and it's like, bitch, what? And it's that, oh, it's like, you acting like you think you better than me or something. Bitch, who said that? Who said that? Absolutely the fuck not. And I'm not saying that it's no, look, I'm participate with the whole bean soup thing. If you ain't got no nuance and you don't understand how to read between the lines on certain shit, that's your problem. I'm not finna try to make everybody feel included with this, okay? I'm just saying, if you the type of person who genuinely wants the best for your friends, because me, I am a very solution-oriented person. Okay, if you come to me talking about the same thing, I always say you got about 3 times, maybe 4, depending on how interesting it is, to complain to me about something that's going on in your life, and now it's time to get to fixing it. It's time to get to fixing it. What are we gonna do to fix this? But when it comes to a bitch that low-key got a little stank on her attitude, when it comes to you, you can't do that with them. And it's just like, I don't want no parts of it. I really don't want no parts of it. And I feel like that's why I ain't got no motherfucking friends now. Like, a bitch always think that you trying to be better than them. Ain't nobody trying to be, don't nobody think that they're better than you. If I thought that I was better than you, bitch, I wouldn't be your motherfucking friend. I hang with bitches that's here with me, or here with me. I never want to be the smartest bitch in the room. Never want to be the baddest bitch in the room. Always want people around me that I can learn from and grow with, okay? I don't even know why that like scattered across my little brain. That is just one thing that I have learned over time after being friends with so many different people. Like, and that's one of those things, you know what, we just gonna rant. Because I used to be that type of person where I hate being misunderstood. So a lot of my friendships have ended because I am, and I can admit this, a very confrontational person. And that can be a lot for some people, especially people who have never dealt with someone who is very confrontational. I don't let shit slide, okay? I might, you know what I'm saying, let you do your thing for a little bit, but once I notice this becoming a consistent pattern and it stops sitting right with my spirit, I gotta say something, because I'm a ruminator. I'm gonna be thinking about this and it's gonna consume me. And then I got to the point where I stopped letting things consume me and I started saying how I felt. But then it got to the point where it's like, this bitch never liked me, so why am I saying all of these things? And then it got to the point where I'm like, a bitch that actually liked me would never do these things in the first place. So I started shutting the fuck up. You don't have to have a big drawn out long explanation every time you stop hanging out with a bitch. Every time a bitch doing some shit that you don't like, or every time a bitch, you know what I'm saying, got some funky ass shit going on in her life and her life just seems to always be crumbling. It's like, well, maybe we just don't need to be cool. Because why would I be hanging out with a bitch that act like this anyway? Why would I be hanging out with a bitch that's always doing some weird shit towards me, or always got some weird shit going on? Maybe we are just not a match. Because I don't see myself in you. I don't. There is nothing about you that makes me want to be like you in any type of way, personally. So maybe we just don't need to be friends. So I started shutting the fuck up and just slow ghosting bitches. Like, honestly, like, I don't even give a fuck to be around you no more. But when it comes to a bitch that think that you trying to, I had a bitch one time, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help this girl out. Like I said, very solution oriented, trying to help shorty out. And I'm telling her like things that she could do differently in her life. Just, you know, a little simple, friendly suggestion. Me and this bitch stopped being friends. Months passed, and it came back around that this bitch was telling people that I was trying to little girl her. Do you feel like you a little girl? Only a bitch that feel like she a little girl can get little girl. What the fuck are we talking about? It's just so crazy. It's just that sounded so country, but it's just so crazy, like the narratives that people build in their mind around you, and then when you come around them being your true authentic self, they take it as an attack. They take it like you trying to do something to them, like you trying to make them feel a type of way. No, bitch, you feel a type of way. I didn't do nothing to you. And that's why I stopped trying to fill in the gaps around like how people feel. Like, I'm taking everything at face value. What you are giving me is what I'm taking it as. And it's like, oh my goodness, being emotionally cognizant is such a double-edged sword. It's so bittersweet, because it's like, I see you, and I'm trying not to see you as deeply as I'm seeing you, but I feel like I'm hurting myself by turning the cheek, by turning a blind eye, by letting you rock. Because it's just like, one bad apple can spoil the whole tree. So let me pluck myself, okay?
The way you texted me, and then you texted me on your honeymoon. Hey y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a story time about how I blocked a friend of mine of 20 years because he got married. Let's get into it. So guys, just giving y'all a little backstory. This is someone that I have known since high school. We always have kept in contact through the years. We were never officially boyfriend and girlfriend, but he used to do the cute little dress like each other thing in high school, and stay up all night on the phone and all that good jazz. Fast forward after graduation. So we had been physical in the past. He was one of those old faithfuls. Then fast forward to college. We still had some, let me put some time frames on this. I graduated in 2007. Yeah. And then I went to Pembroke in 2010. Throughout college, we had, always kept in contact with one another. We really never lost contact. It might be back in those times, we were still in communication pretty frequently. But of course, we never had an actual relationship. It was just, one of those things. But we were pretty close and good friends. Our friendship never was ruined because of what we had going on. So let's just fast forward to like adults. So over the years, again, as time progressed, we still kept in contact. He would reach out to me. I really wasn't reaching out to him like that because, although, at times I felt like it was weird, he would try to like reminisce with me, and I really wasn't trying to reminisce because as a grown woman, as an adult, I'm not sliding back to that, if that makes sense. So we would have conversations, we would talk, he would start reminiscing, and I would go ghost because I just didn't feel like talking about it. So we would still keep contact, but over time, our contact was not as frequent. So over the years, whenever we would talk, it's like he would, I'm not going to say be in my business, but he would be trying to ask me like, what you got going on? Who you talking to? How was that going? Like, he was always asking me about what I had going on. I asked him what he had going on, of course, just with, conversation. And, he never said that he had too much of anything going on. Of course, I know he's not just not doing anything, so to speak. But nonetheless, he made it seem like he didn't really have anything going on, whatever the case may be. So I would say 2025, we did start talking like a little more. Did I think anything was going to come of it? Absolutely not. But we started conversing a little bit more, talking more about things, conversations being a little bit more in depth. And he was like, again, consistently asking me questions about what it was that I had going on. Mind you, over the years, he been asking to come see me. He knew I moved, and where I moved to was where he used to live at one point, but he doesn't live there anymore. And I kept kind of like pushing it off, simply because just with the nature of our old relationship, I didn't want him over here, and then, him thinking it's going to be something that it ain't going to be, whatever. So I always pushed it off. However, this time in particular, I think he said he was riding through. He wanted to stop by and see me. So I was like, okay, well, what is the harm in it? I'll let him come by. So this was, I would say, August of 2025. Mind you, we've been communicating for months, but the communication was starting to become a little bit more frequent. He's over here for like a few hours. I really wasn't counting the time, but he was literally over here for a few hours. We were just talking about high school. We were talking about, what's been going on and what we have going on now, whatever the case may be. I don't remember exactly what time he left, but I remember messaging him around midnight. Hey, did you make it? And I know that he did have like an hour drive. So he was over here for a few hours. Whole time he was over here, never checked his phone, wasn't in his phone didn't ring, any of those things. Okay, cool. And then like a month and a half goes by. I told myself that I wanted to do better with checking in on people when they crossed my mind. So he just randomly crossed my mind. This was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. He randomly crossed my mind. And I was like, hey, what you got going on? And he was, nothing. I'm just packing up. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, what you doing? I like, I'm being nosy. That's what I sent him. I said, I'm being nosy. And he was like, I'm in Jamaica. And I was like, oh. And I was like, you with your boo? Just sending a side eye, because I'm thinking to myself, men can go to Jamaica with their homeboys, but that seemed like a bay trip. So I'm just joking at this point. And I'm like, you with your boo? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, I'm on my honeymoon. And I'm like, I was like, oh, first instinct, oh, congratulations or whatnot. And then he was like, thank you. And then I said something else, and I was like, I don't know if you telling me the truth or not. And he was like, what? So like, we still talking or whatever. And he was like, I thought you seen it on Facebook. And I go to his page, I don't see nothing on Facebook. Nothing. So obviously he has his settings set a certain kind of way to where nothing can be seen or whatever the case may be. But I think a family member may have posted it. And then I go to a family member page and I see that it's a whole wedding. Like, this isn't just a wake up and get married situation. Like, this is a whole wedding that was planned. And I immediately got the ick. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, these conversations that you have with me, the stuff that you saying with me, I'm not paying attention to it, but that's disrespectful to your now wife. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, this was a whole planned thing. Like, I immediately got the ick. I immediately got the ick. Just thinking about everything, like, wow, he planned a wedding. All this time he been in my business asking me what I had going on. And nigga, you had a whole fiance. Like, I was immediately disgusted. I was like, you had a whole fiance. And then I'm thinking to myself, we've been cool all these years. Why would you feel the need to lie to me of all people? Then it dawned on me, was you not telling me because in the back of your mind, you was still trying to cut if I was going to let you cut? Like, what? I was completely flabbergasted. Then you basically somewhat hiding it. And then now the way you texted me, and then you texted me on your honeymoon. And I was like, I want to see the photos. And he was like, had it not been for my family members, I wouldn't have posted it, XYZ. And I was like, oh, y'all look pretty. I found the photos. I said, oh, y'all look pretty. And I was like, congratulations. And I blocked him immediately after that. Because, babe, one thing about it, I don't play about marriage. I do not play about marriage, and I would not disrespect anyone's marriage. And I was like, above anything, I have morals, I have integrity. And at the end of the day, like, I'm feeling bad for her, low key. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, like, where was she thinking you was at when you was at my house for 4 hours trying to reminisce of old times? Like, what? And mind you, from the time that he was at my house, this happened like a month and a half after that. So it's like, I really did feel bad for her. Like, dead ass serious. Like, granted, she don't know, so it is what it is. But at the same time, like, as a girl's girl, like, I'm like, damn, like, what the fuck? It was just a lot. Block, immediately block.
I have to get on here because I just realized that I never told y'all about how I lost a friend on my birthday. And I just feel like it's a story that y'all deserve to hear. Like, and I really think I just want some insight, like, on if I was tripping Which I know I was not. I know I wasn't. But anyway, I gotta tell y'all. So y'all, my birthday was last month. And so I'm still not over it. Like, it's been a month. I'm not over it. Like, so my birthday was last month. And let me think. Where should I start? Grab y'all popcorn. Grab y'all popcorn. But, okay, I know where I'm going to start. So, my birthday was last month, and I decided that I wanted to, go out of town for my birthday. And because, like, I'm in school, and I'm a mom, like, I really don't get a chance to do much. So, this year, I just was like, I'm not letting my birthday go to waste this year. Like, we're doing something. Like, I'm doing something. So I decided I want to go out of town. So I had told a couple of my friends, like, let's go out of town. Like, let's go to Atlanta for the weekend. Blah, blah, blah. And so 2 of my friends decided they wanted to go. One is, like, one of my childhood friends that I've known forever. And then my other friend is a girl that I met in nursing school, and so I've known her like a little bit over a year, maybe somewhere around there, like ballpark. Okay, so once they both agreed that they wanted to go, and like we locked it in, like we start planning the trip, right? Okay, so days on days are going by, and we're planning like the itinerary and everything, and so we come up with a day that we're going to buy our tickets, like our plane tickets. Okay, so everybody is on the same accord at this point. Like, nobody is left behind. Like, everybody, we're good. Everything is good. So the day comes that we're supposed to buy our plane tickets, right? Okay, so I call everybody on 3-way. We're all on the phone. We're going through the steps together. Like, we're literally buying the plane tickets together. Like, going through the steps. Like, picking our seats, doing everything together while we're all on the phone. Okay, we all get to the end where, you know, you pay for your ticket or whatever, okay? So everybody pays for their ticket. And so I fucking thought, this is where it gets a little weird. So we all pay for our ticket. Okay, cool. Everybody in the group chat sending their outfits. We sending places we gonna go. At this point, we done found our hotel, booked our hotel. At this point, everybody's still on the same page. Everybody is on the same page, like all 3. No woman left behind. We all on the same page. So I thought, yeah, I'm trying to get to the point. So, okay. Fast forward to the day before the trip. Because at this point, we done picked out our hotel. We done booked our hotel. We done booked our flights. And, like, we rocking and rolling. We ready to go. So, the day before the trip, the friend who I lost, she texted in the group chat and said that she got a hey boo text. Now, as women, we don't, like, nobody wants a hey boo text. Like, come on now, like, not on the day before a trip at that. Like, nobody wants that text. So, at this point, we scrambling. Me and my other friend, we're scrambling, trying to help her find, like, a replacement hairstylist and whatever. So, a few hours go by, and my friend that I'm no longer friends with, she said that she ended up finding a replacement, and she told her she could come in the morning at, like, 8 a.m. or something like that. And our flight left at 1 p.m. the next day. So she said she can get her in at 8 a.m. Cool. Now, that's already pushing it, but, I mean, if that's what it had to be, that's just what it had to be. So I'm like, okay, fine. We got that figured out, right? Okay. So day of comes, and I'm up early. I'm calling everybody. I called both of them at like 7 a.m. I called my friend, my childhood friend, just to make sure, like, we were good. Everything was good on her end. You know, she didn't have any type of hiccups or anything. She's good, okay? I call my other friend. I'm like, it's 7 a.m. Like, your hair appointment is at 8, right? Like, you good? Like, everything's still good? She says yes. Everything's good. Everything okay. Cool. Not cool. She texts again at 10 o'clock. And she says, I'm over it. Over? Bitch, what the fuck are you over? Like, what's going on? Like, it's 10 o'clock. Our flight is in a couple hours. Like, what's going on? The hairstylist is late. Okay. So, what do we do now? It's 10 a.m. We need to be at the airport in a couple hours. Your hair is not done. Like, what are we going to do? So, at this point, we need an emergency plan. Like, what are we going to do? So, me and my childhood friend, we literally trying to come up with any option for her. Like, I have to find you a stylist out of town. Whatever it takes, like, we're going to get your hair done. But all I know is we have to be at the airport on this flight. Like, everything else will come together. Like, we telling her we will waste the whole day, not go out, not do nothing. Mind you, it's my birthday. Me. We will waste a whole day just to make sure your hair is done, because I'm that type of friend. We're going to make sure you good. Like, I'm like, I can't even get it out. As long as we get on our plane and get to where we're going, we're going to figure everything else out once we get there. Y'all, this girl canceled on me. At the last minute. Canceled. Said she wasn't going. There was no compromise. There was nothing we could do to fix it. She just straight canceled. On my birthday trip. Okay. And, like, I try to be understanding. Because, like, as a girl, I know how it is. Like, our hair. Like, I get it. It's important. But nobody was ever going to let her go anywhere without her hair being done. We were going to make sure her hair was done by any means. This is not even the worst of it, y'all. So I get past being mad about her not coming, whatever, whatnot. Me and my friend, we like, fuck it, we just gonna go. We gonna ball out. Like, it's cool. Like, it's still my birthday at the end of the day. We're gonna enjoy it. So, y'all, we get to the airport, right? We board our flight. This is the part. We board our flight, and once we get to our seats, there was somebody sitting in her seat. Excuse me, is that your seat? They said, yeah, this is my seat. Are you sure that's your seat? They showed me their ticket. It's their seat. How is this your seat if my friend bought this ticket? This seat you're sitting in, my friend said she bought this fucking ticket. Like, she was supposed to be here with us and she canceled, but that's her seat. No, it's not. She never bought the ticket to begin with. Y'all.
I've been done so wrong by females that I'm scared to make new friends. That's real crazy to me. Like, the average girl will have trust issues with men, but me, like, I have trust issues with women. It's the secret hate for real. It's the harboring hate that I found out about later on that I can't get with. And like, this girl, I was friends with her for 20 years. 20 years. And she told another girl, like, condoned the idea of another girl shooting me. Y'all, I watched this girl give birth. I was in the delivery room. And she condoned this girl shooting me. I stood toe-to-toe with this girl's baby dad in a restaurant in her defense while he sat with his newborn that she had just found out about. Like, thick and thin, I was with this girl, and she condoned the idea of another girl shooting me. When the girl said she was going to shoot me, this girl said, go ahead, nobody's going to call the police. This girl that was my friend for 20 years, my sister. I got trust issues with women, and I'm finally ready to talk about it. Finally.
I think I'm ready to tell my story as to why I have friendship PTSD and why I had to end a 20-year friendship last year because it became way too toxic. I'm ready to tell my story. So I met this person when I was in the 8th grade. Let me give you a disclaimer. It is a man, it is not a woman. So we met in the 8th grade. We were pretty much inseparable. Of course, you know how normal high school friendships are, up and down, but it was nothing major that we could not get past. Well, when I was 21, I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer that only old white people get. So I became like this case study. I had to take treatments. I had to get surgeries. My life literally changed when I turned 21, and it just caught me and my family off guard. This particular friend was pretty much privy to everything that was going on because they were like family, like really like family. My mom, my grandmother, everybody loved this person because, like I said, we were inseparable. So at the time I was dating my now ex-husband, who was very much so involved in my treatment and everything. He was so supportive, which was one of the reasons why I married him. So he was taking me back and forth to treatments and, you know, just being very supportive. Well, in addition to me working full time, I'm taking treatment, I'm in school, I'm having surgeries every month. The dynamic of my life and a lot of my relationships changed naturally. It wasn't because I was acting funny or none of the things like that. Although this particular friend felt like I was acting funny. So one day we're on the phone. This friend thought we were supposed to talk every day, even though I had all this shit going on. They thought that wasn't supposed to change. But anyway, one day we were on the phone, just having a normal conversation. I'm just checking in like, hey friend, how you been? Whatever. And he was just really dry, like act like he didn't want to be bothered. So I'm like, what's up? Well, you know, you just funny acting. We don't talk no more. You in this relationship and you doing this, and this, just really going in on me. So me being who I am, I hung up. When I hung up, instead of arguing, I get this message. You bitch, fuck you. You ain't got cancer with your lying ass. I mean, laughing, LOL. Your lying ass, you just pitiful. You fake and you think you this and you think you that. Oh, okay. So after getting that message, I talked to my boyfriend at the time and I talked to my mom. And my mom was like, that ain't your friend. That is not your friend. You need to end that friendship. That needs to be over. Well, the person, again, who I am, I didn't say anything. I left that person alone, and we did not talk for about 2 years. I ended up getting engaged a year and a half, maybe 2 years after being diagnosed with cancer, and this person found my registry online and ended up sending me a gift. And at that time, my ex-husband was like, no, I don't give a damn about him being sorry. Of course, he put like a little note saying how sorry he was and congratulations. I did not respond. So 2 years later, I get a DM basically apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done you like that. Come to find out, his mom was diagnosed with cancer. So now, of course, the guilty conscience is hitting him. Oh, I shouldn't have done you like that. I'm so sorry, this and this. My husband had told me not to take this man back into my life. My mom, my grandmother, my brother, nobody wanted me to be his friend because they saw how bad he had treated me. But what did I do? I let him back in. And I regret it. And 14 years later, I finally was able to end that friendship. And I'm gonna tell y'all some stories. I'm gonna tell y'all, because there was like 4 major things that took place. So finally, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. So yeah, this is part 1. Stay tuned. So part 2 of why I ended a 20-year friendship. Now I'm gonna let y'all know this. I'm not bashing this person. This is basically me just telling you, like, I know that friendship PTSD is real. I know how we can get scarred by friends. I know how it feels to let people walk all over you and do certain things to you that you know you don't deserve, and yet you still pour into them. Those are the type of situations I had to leave and get out of once I started my journey to heal. And now that I am actually healed, I can speak about it. So when people say, oh, he wasn't your friend, you let him slide, no shit, I know that. I know that. That's why I went to therapy. That was part of my therapy. So I'm over that. So I don't need y'all Dr. Phil's in the motherfucking comments telling me that I made a mistake by continually letting this man into my life. I know that. Now, 2013, I think it was like 2012, 2013, we reconciled, okay? Everything is fine. Between 2013 and 2018, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, so much stuff happened in my life. I don't remember if we fell out or not, which I don't think so, because I ended up getting divorced and all the things. So 2018 come, I moved to Texas, March 2018. He knew I was moving. This had been the plan. The plan was for him to come down and visit me maybe a month or so after I had moved here and gotten acclimated and settled so we could kick it. So I get down here in March. Mind you, I had a job already that had transferred. I had already got my own apartment because I didn't live with my boyfriend. And I just, was trying to get situated or whatever. So maybe like 2 or 3, probably 2 weeks after I moved here, he was like, okay, friend, like, can I get my ticket? When you gonna be free? When can I come? Not knowing that my move was very hard on my mental because I missed my family, number one. And I was already in a relationship with somebody who was mentally and emotionally abusing me. So I just wasn't right in my head. Now, could I have expressed that to him? Absolutely. But am I that type of person? No, not for real. I didn't feel like it was necessary. And I also didn't think it was necessary for him to continuously push me about visiting. It's not like I was going somewhere. We was together almost every day, in our friendship. So it's not like it was a big deal for him to come down. So about a month or so after I was here, I was like, okay, I'm going to let you know when you can come. He didn't even give me a chance. The man did not give me a chance. Before I could even tell him like, okay, I'm free on these days or this works for me, I get a message. I get a text message. If you didn't want me to fucking come down to Dallas, that's all you had to say. Cause I know, you got your relationship down there and I know you trying to make that work and just all the same bullshit that I have heard over and over again from him. And at this point, so I'm one of those people, I'm not going to do the back and forth because I'm going to cuss your ass out and then I'm going to get my high blood pressure up. And I'm just not doing it, and especially through text message. But he's one of those people, he loves to argue through text message. So he going off, like letting his clip out on me. And I'm just, reading the messages, going through it. In my mind, I'm done. Like, we're not friends anymore. I'm blocking you. It's over. So in real jam fashion, I did not respond. I left it at that because I didn't have the mental capacity to deal with that, okay? So maybe 6 months later, one of my close friends back in St. Louis ended up passing away unexpectedly, and it really was a blow to me. Now, my best friend, he knew who this person was. He had never met him, but he knew him by name. He knew how much I cared for this person. He knew that was like my friend for real. So, mind you, we're not talking. I get an email because he was blocked. I get an email saying, yeah, I saw that your friend passed away. I just want to send my condolences and check on you. It was real smug, real nasty. So I didn't respond. Part 3, and I'm about to record it right now. Okay, this is part 3. So we end up falling out. I did not respond to the text message. I blocked him, all the things. So I get an email after my friend passed away, basically being real nasty about it. I guess nice, nasty, passive aggressive, instead of saying my friend's name, like, oh, your friend passed away type shit. And so once I read it and I realized what type of energy was in the email, I didn't respond. So then after not responding, it was probably like a week or 2 went by. I get another email, and in the email, it was another apology, basically saying I miss my friend, I'm going through so much and this and this and this. And I'm like, golly, I don't know what it was, why I had such a soft spot for this human being, but I absolutely did. And y'all know what my ass did? I took him right back into my life and restarted our friendship again. But this time, reconciliation was short-lived. He got mad at me one time because of how I answered the phone. I guess he wasn't in a good mood. He got an attitude, didn't talk to me for almost a year. At this point, COVID came around. When COVID came around, I opened my company, The Black Shop. And of course, I guess he followed me on social media. He was paying attention to everything I was doing. And so he goes on my website and he starts to buy things. He will place an order every week for 3 or 4 weeks. I guess that was his way of indirectly saying he was sorry. He wants to be friends again. But in my mind, I'm not paying no attention to that shit because I just did not have time for it. Once again, I get another text message, apologizing. Now I'm going to tell y'all, because this is where I start to really realize some shit needed to change. So we reconcile. We're friends. And then, so 2022 February comes around, my mom passed away. When I got the phone call that my mom died, mind you, my family lives in St. Louis, so I knew I was going to have to go back home. So I called my granny as soon as I heard, and then I called him because this is my best friend. Regardless of what we have been through, I know that you got me. All that shit in the past, we going to wipe the slate clean, and we going to move on. So I call him. I'm telling him what's going on. He's devastated, and I got you, friend, whatever you need. Cool. So I fly home the next day after my mom passed away because I found out late at night. Next morning, go to St. Louis. We instantly start to plan the funeral, all the things. So he calls me. He was like, hey, my mom coming. Is it okay if my mom comes in town to come to your mom's funeral? His mom lived in Kentucky at the time. So I was like, absolutely. Yeah, whatever. I of course, I need the support. She can come. So he shows up at the funeral. He's sitting in the back row with his mom. I had a really, really close friend with me sitting up front, a friend I had been friends with from like the 6th grade. And of course, you know, the kids sit up front, so no big deal. We get through the funeral. So the funeral is over. We're about to go to the wake. I drove. I did not ride in the limousine. I wanted to drive by myself. So I get in the car, and I see him come out the church. And I see him with a bag. And I'm thinking, oh, it's probably like a, you know, a gift or whatever. So I blow the horn. I call him over. I'm like, hey, you coming? You know, you're going to come to the burial, right? So he sticks his arm in the car. He was like, oh, no, I'm not going to come. My mom needs me to take her around to run some errands. But here's a gift. It's supposed to be my best friend. I'm finna bury my mama. You told me that your mama was coming to St. Louis to watch me bury my mama. So you lied. Part 4. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. This is part 4. This is going to be the last part. I'm going to wrap it up. So I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can because me, myself, I do not like long videos. That's the only reason why I broke all of this up because, first of all, I have ADHD and I cannot talk for a long period of time without being distracted. But anyway, part 4. All right, so y'all know he did not come to the burial because he said he had to take his mama to run some errands, even though he told me his mama was coming in town to come to my mama's funeral, whatever. So it was about an hour and a half. We had got through the burial and we are getting ready for the repast. So I just happened to get on Facebook to like look at the condolences and respond. The first person that showed up in my feeds was him. Tell me why about an hour and a half after he left my mama's funeral, he posts a picture of my mama's obituary laying on his kitchen counter with like this long ass caption saying how much he loved my mama and like all this shit. And I'm thinking, I thought your ass was running errands, but I didn't even say nothing. I just didn't even say nothing because at that point I didn't even have the mental capacity to address any type of bullshit like that. So let's keep it moving. Okay, funeral is over. It's the middle of 2022. And he's basically deciding that he wants to come and live in Dallas. Now, he had a remote job, so basically he could have went anywhere. Plus, he had wanted a new job, so he just started applying to different places in Dallas. And in Dallas and in different cities, and he ended up coming here. Now, as a friend, we really did not have a real conversation about him coming here, but at the end of the day, he's a grown man. He can do whatever he want to do. Was I very supportive of it? Yes, because I felt like he just needed to get out, spread his wings, and just try something new. Well, before he came, he kept saying, I want to get a new truck. I want to get a new truck. He was driving I think a black BMW truck. I'm not into fancy shit. Auntie Jam drives a Toyota Corolla, so I don't know. But he was very materialistic, so he was like, I want to get a new truck. I want to get a new truck. So I was like, you don't really need a new truck. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Save your money for when you move here. You could buy something nice for yourself. So he decides to move here, excuse me, towards the end of 2022. 2 days, y'all remember how I told y'all I got friends that just lied to my face and I just let them? He was one of them. 2 days before this man moved to Dallas, he calls me. This is how the conversation goes. Jamise, because that's my real name. You're not gonna believe what just happened. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? Like, is it an emergency? He said, well, I went to go get my car serviced because, you know, I'm driving there to move. I went to go get my car serviced. And about 45 minutes after I give them the keys to my car, they come running up saying, who has the black BMW truck? Who owns the black BMW truck? And I'm like, I do. And they told me that as soon as they gave the porter the keys, he basically went joyriding in the garage and he ended up slamming my car, crashing my car into the wall of the garage. As soon as he told me that, I knew it was a lie, only because he had lied to me about something like this before because he wanted to buy a new car. Now, anyway, so I'm like, what? Like, are you okay? Are you going to be able to move? You got to get you a new car. He was like, oh my God, I was so stressed out. I didn't know what I was going to do, but they ended up replacing it. I got a new BMW truck. I got a white one and they took care of this and they paid for this. So I'm good. I'm all set to come. These are the type of lies, okay? And for me, that was like the tip of the iceberg because obviously, we are not friends if you feel like you got to lie to me about that because I didn't give a damn what you spent your money on. It was just unnecessary for you to lie. So he ends up 2 days later moving to Dallas. He moves to Dallas. He gets acclimated. A couple of months go by. Let's say towards like the end. We're talking October, November, because his birthday was in December, and I took him out for his birthday. But before that, I had planned on switching my content a little bit because Auntie Jam loves to cook. So I asked him if I could use his kitchen to record my videos. He was like, yeah, like, cool. Like, I support you, whatever you need. Cool. Oh yeah, one more thing, and not to mention, I found out he did lie about the truck situation, because one day we was having a conversation because I was about to buy a new car. I thought about buying a new car, and he came out and said the type of deal and everything that he went through to get the car that he had currently had. He had forgotten all about telling me the story about the porter crashing his car. Okay. So we end up going to dinner one night. It was like the first week of December. We end up going to dinner, and we're having a conversation, and basically he was kind of insinuating that he didn't really like it here. He missed his family, but he never said that he was gonna move. I kept saying, friend, are you gonna move? I'm like, if you move back home, I understand, like, living away from home is not for everybody, you know. I get it, because this is your first time, like, being away from home. He's like, no, like, I'm good, friend, like, I'm gonna stick it out. It's fine. Like, if I decide to leave, I'm gonna let you know. No problem. Like, we good. Cool. So a week later, I had a photo shoot at his apartment, and we were like planning to start shooting my content. 2 weeks after that, I get a phone call like, yeah, friend, guess what? I already started selling my furniture. Like, this man coming to pick up my furniture and my bed. And I said, selling your furniture for what? Yeah, I decided I'm moving back home. Like, I just can't do it. I just want to go back home. And I'm thinking, I asked you multiple times, where you going? You know, were you comfortable here? Like, what was going on? You lied to my face and told me that you were not moving. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, I support your decision. I understand how it is. Coming to find out, he had already had everything set up, y'all. He had already had a friend that used to be our mutual come down to help him. Like, he had already rented a U-Haul. This man was gone probably a week and a half after he told me he was already moving. So yeah, he ended up moving back, and by the time he got back to St. Louis, I was just over it. Like, and when he would call me, we would have different conversations. It just took me, it was so reminiscent of like when we were kids. It was about gossiping. He always had something negative to say, talking about his other friends like he always did. And so I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I prayed on it, because I was like, Lord, I need to be released from this friendship. Like, I know for a fact I'm not getting fed. I know for a fact that me and this person no longer we don't have anything in common. We're not aligned anymore. And I just did not want to let go, because I'm like, we got these years. But then I started thinking, half of these years I was lied to. Half of these years I was low-key mistreated. Did he do nice things for me, and was he a good friend sometimes? Absolutely. I'm not taking that away. But for the most part, the bad outweighed the good. And so one day I texted him and I said, listen, I need a break. I need a break from you. I need a break from this friendship. I just don't feel like we align anymore. I don't want you to really take this personal. This is about me in a different direction, and I'm going in my life. I just don't want to do this anymore. Of course, he was upset. He took offense. He sent me this long message going off on me, not even being receptive to it. And that's when I knew it was confirmation, because we've been friends 20 years and nothing has changed about you. And so after that, he blocked me. He deleted me on all social media. We never talked again, and that was it. That was one of the hardest relationships I had to let go of. And when I say I thank God I did, because when I'm just talking about this confirms and lets me know that I made the right decision, because that person was toxic. That person had low-key jealousy issues, and that person was just not my friend after a certain amount of time. We just weren't friends anymore. They just liked what I could provide for them as far as my light, my personality, my love. And I just got tired of it. I got tired of being used and lied to, so I let it go.
Why I ended my longest standing friendship of 24 years. Let's get into it. I needed a drink for this one. In full transparency, I never thought that I was going to tell this story, but because I have seen a lot of people go through similar things on here, I think it's important to talk about. Without further ado, buckle up, it's gonna be a long one. So there's a lot of backstory to this, but for the sake of the story, we will keep it a very Reader's Digest version. Essentially, I'm 28 now. We met 24 years ago and have been best friends throughout that duration of our lives. She was very close to me. Our parents were best friends, and we kind of intertwined into this family friend dynamic, and we were absolutely inseparable. Now, she is 2 years younger than me and got married when she was 18 and moved across the country with her military spouse. Now, her husband is the epitome of a narcissist. He is probably the worst person I have ever met in my entire life. And over the past 10 years or so, he has worked on isolating her, not only away from her family, but away from her friends, and really any kind of support system, down to just a few. Over the years, I have tried so hard to be that person that was just always there for her no matter what she needed. Because she lived on the other side of the United States, we were on like a 3-hour time difference for the larger part of the last like 5-6 years. And there have been multiple instances where, something happened and I was getting phone calls in the middle of the night or texts in the middle of the night and just in a frenzy. So it was nothing new for me to get strange phone calls or texts at random hours with something extravagantly not good happening. Forward to a few months ago, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning my time and my phone started going off. Now I was sound asleep, but the continuous buzzing of my phone woke me up, and it was from a strange number that I didn't have saved in my phone, but it did have a Las Vegas area code. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not pick up calls from numbers that I do not have. It's just a part of my mantra. I do not do it. So after so many calls, I got a Snapchat notification, and it was from my best friend. And it said, hey, this is me calling you from this number. It's an emergency. I need you to pick up right now. So of course, I'm like, she has my phone number. This is so weird that she would be calling me from someone else's phone. But of course, I get out of bed because I was sleeping next to my boyfriend, and I quietly go into the living room and I give her a phone call back. Now, when I tell you she picks up the phone and she is in absolute distress, that's an understatement. She was in hysterics. Go to part 2.
Going without your best friend is one of the worst things that anyone can go through. And I'm going through that right now. And it's such a shitty feeling that some days I just really need my person. And there are some days, like today, that's like my mom's birthday party, that I wish that they were here, that they were coming, or that they were on the phone with me while I got ready in hysterics like I always do. And yeah, so if you have a best friend and you guys are going through it, reach out to them and tell them that you love them, that you miss them. And if they don't reach out back, at least they know how you feel. But try to take care of each other, because there are far and few real friends in this world. And I thought I had that. And I guess, sometimes my personal life can be of turmoil for a lot of people. And I understand that, why they needed a break from me. But it still sucks, to have a break from you.
I didn't think a birthday dinner could end a 10-year friendship, but here we are. Okay, besties, tell me if I'm wrong after this, because I still think about it sometimes. So this happened a few years ago. This is not recent. But anyway, 2 weeks before my best friend's birthday, best friend at the time, I had just gone through a breakup and I had to move, like emergency move ASAP. And at the time, I really did not have stable income. Her dinner required a flight, a hotel, Ubers, food, like literally the whole weekend situation. So I called her. I said, hey girl, I want to show up for you because you always show up for me. But I genuinely cannot afford this right now. But I didn't just cancel. I offered to fly her out to me after her birthday. I said, you can stay at my place. I'll cover everything. We'll celebrate properly. I just can't do all of that traveling right now. So I thought we were good. I didn't go to the dinner, and then the after party happens. There was a girl there that I actually was really close with as well for 10 years, but we had a big fallout. Like, it was one of those nasty friendship breakups. But I didn't mind because I'm like, you guys have built your own relationship. They actually met through me. I'm not going to be one of those people to like tell someone they can't hang out with the person because I don't talk to them anymore. So anyway, I'm watching the vibes. I see the story post, and then all of a sudden I see my best friend post with the girl that she knows like I do not like, have a fallout with. Oh, real girls do real things, or real bees do real things. Real bees show up. What? Clearly, it was shots at me, and that bothered me. Not because I missed the dinner, but because I communicated, I apologized, and I still tried to make it up to her. So instead of immediately reacting, I asked two mutual friends, am I overthinking this, or is this weird energy? Both of them were like, no, posting about your girlfriend online instead of talking to them is really weird. And for me, that's just a boundary. If you take an issue with me to the internet instead of to me, we are done. So I never responded, and we never spoke again after 10 years of friendship. And it truly sucks because that was really my sister. That was my ride or die. That was my dog. But you know what? At the end of the day, I feel like we have to have boundaries. But honestly, tell me if I was wrong. We really lost a 10-year friendship over a birthday dinner.
I'll never forget the time that I was 8 months, or what was it, maybe 7 months pregnant with my second son. And I went to my ex-best friend's house for just a casual brunch. Her mom and her wanted to make brunch for me while we just chopped it up. And I will never forget that the conversation started out about, just casual talking about the problems that we were having, just girl talk, to where it quickly shifted to my husband and I's personal business. And at this time, me and her, we had created distance between ourselves, and then we rekindled. So during that time that we disconnected, I was working on myself actively, staying in therapy. That is something I continue to do. So I remember she quickly changed the subject to me and my husband, her and her mom, and they started joking about things that weren't a joke, such as finances and the relationship that I had with his mom. And, granted, I'm 7 months pregnant, sitting at their table, and I'm telling them like, hey, y'all can laugh at this all you want, but I have to go home to this. And I remember saying those words, and I will never forget the look that this friend gave me while telling them that, like, this is not funny, aka you can laugh at this, but I gotta go home to this, and like, I'm not finding anything funny about this. And it was a look of like, yeah, the look was very much so, I just tore her down a few notches. Let me bring her down a few notches. That was what I received. And it's like they wanted to see me cry. They wanted to see me break down. They wanted to see me, question if this man is for me. They wanted to play with my mind. And that's how I knew in my gut that this was not my friend. But in my head, I was like, okay, well, if I just go home, take it all out on my husband, then everything will be fine. No. My husband was so upset. He was so upset. And he wanted to say something to them, but because we just had girl talk, I didn't want to let them know that this is what happened. But he was so upset by that, and he wanted to confront them. And when I finally mustered up the strength to let them know how they made me feel, then this ex-friend was crying, like bawling her eyes out, saying she did not mean anything by it. I was heavily considering letting the friendship go, but then she threw me a surprise baby shower. And I was so appreciative of that. I was, just really happy about it, because I wasn't going to have me a baby shower. And so those type of mixed signals that she did very frequently kept me in this box of staying in that friendship for almost 10 years. And I hate that that was even a case for me, because I didn't deserve that. There was no foundation to this friendship. We jumped right in, like, ass first in.
there was no foundation. It wasn't built on much of anything except we have 2 serious relationships going, and we know we want to get married. The foundation was built on the men that was in our lives. And so that is what the relationship consistently evolved into, talking about the men in our lives and what they're doing.
No one talks about how painful it is to go through a friendship breakup. We talk a lot about romantic breakups and how to shit on a man that has disrespected us, but we haven't talked about how to really heal from friendship breakups. And I know a lot of y'all women in my comments also wanted an answer to how do you move on from your friendship, because honestly, those can hurt just as much, if not more. And usually with those kind of breakups, there's really not any closure, and that's why they hurt so bad. So number one, you gotta stop minimizing the loss. Don't keep telling yourself it was just a friend, it's not a big deal. It matters because they mattered. Just like with any breakup, let yourself grieve. Do not rush through the process. Number two, be honest about why it ended. Not every friendship breakup ends because of betrayal. Sometimes people just outgrow each other. And when you're young, you don't necessarily know how to navigate that change. And sometimes it can get messy, but the reality is, you all probably just really outgrew each other. Boundaries change. Sometimes access change. People move. People have different goals. I mean, a lot of things can happen in friendships. Number three, do not villainize, but don't romanticize either. Not everyone needs to be made out as a villain, but you don't need to rewrite the narrative either to make anybody comfortable. Like, no one needs to hate each other and no one needs to hate themselves, all because of a friendship didn't work out. Number four, accept that sometimes closure is going to be internal. Number five, replace the routine and not the person so soon. Start doing things for you. Like if you were in this friendship and you were constantly people pleasing and self-abandoning, this is your time to really just focus on you and doing things that make you happy, that fulfill you. And number six, take the lesson and not the wound. One thing that I've always learned in any friendship breakup or a breakup in general, that there is always something that could be learned from the situation, whether it's learning how to better communicate, whether it's learning how to stand up for yourself, learning how to trust your discernment, because sometimes we overlook things. You don't need to resent anyone. Just take the lesson for what it is, see everything for face value, and move forward. Outgrowing friendships doesn't mean you failed or that you're the common denominator. It just means that you are the one that is actually changing.
The best thing that my best friend ever did was leave. Over this past year, I went through a best friend breakup with my best friend of 7 years. But it was one of my biggest moments of growth I've probably ever had, and I wrote a Substacks on it. Probably my most vulnerable post I've ever made. Going through a best friend breakup is hard. I remember when I was going through this, I did not know what tools to grab. I did not know where to look. A very uniquely lonely situation. Everyone knows how to treat a relationship breakup, but no one knows how to treat a friend breakup. Not a lot of people talk about it. What I did not expect is how many people messaged me after posting that, saying that they were going through similar experiences, felt so seen. Something that once felt so lonely to me, I now felt like I was receiving a group hug. It's been healing for me to see these types of responses. I felt seen, I felt not alone. I'm like, all right, we got a little community going over here. Like, anyways, someone asked me if I had any advice for someone that's going through this currently, what would I say? It really had me thinking. I wrote in my beautiful little journal. So if you're going through a best friend breakup currently, here's some advice I have for you to get through it. Things that I wish I could have heard in the thick of it. First thing I would say is do not ignore what you're feeling. There's truth to all the stages of what you go through. I cannot tell you, I think I felt every single emotion on the wheel during this situation. I was angry, I was upset, I didn't give a fuck, I was happy. You're gonna feel all the feelings. The best thing to do is feel all the feelings while you're feeling them, because it gives it a place to go to and you can move forward from that. Feel it out, trust. This is coming from someone that only used to intellectualize, never feel in the body, and this is what made me have to learn how to feel emotions physically. You will get to the place where all your emotions make sense if you just feel it and let it flow. Set boundaries for yourself during this time. Be honest about what it is that you need to be able to move forward. Whether that's unfollowing, muting, not looking at their page, whatever it is that you need to do, you know what it is that you need to do, you know what it is. do it. Reframe your mindset. You have to remember that there is still life even after them, even outside of them. You have the opportunity to learn yourself in a new way without them, the version of you without them. Even though what I was going through is shitty, I had to tell myself, why does it have to be so bad though? Like, why do I have to see it as such a bad thing? Why can't it also be empowering? Like, yes, losing a best friend is hard. What if you're more aligned to who you want to be without them? What if you're better without them? What if this opens up space for more people to enter my life that need to be here? It's a hard question to look at. Sometimes we can find ourselves so in the mindset of the loss that we don't think of what can actually be gained. And all of those things happened for me. Like, for me, this was a big return to self. Pour all that love back into you and focus on the love that's around you. Even though this feels like such a big thing in your life, because it did feel like that for me, it is not the biggest thing that's going on. It's the small things. There's probably so much love and light around you that you're not even noticing. Just as beautiful, if not even more beautiful than what you're going through right now. Keep living your life. Honestly, it gives you even more reason to live it the fuck up. You have the space and energy now. Use it. Like, use it. See it as an opportunity. Journal. Okay, that's my next tip. Journal. I journal every day. I think journaling is essential, period. But especially if you're going through something, you don't have to hear any outside noise, no one's opinion. It's just you and the paper. You get to validate yourself, validate your process, validate your emotions. Every person needs that. We need that for ourselves. I looked at my journaling from when this all happened a year ago, and to see where I'm at now, monitoring your progress and your growth is so healing. It's rewarding. Pick it up. Pick up the pen and paper. Even if you don't know what to write, just write straight out the brain. Last piece of advice would be to just trust that this is where you're meant to be. Trust yourself, trust your own feeling, and know that there's something greater waiting at the end of you. With every loss comes a win. That's just how it goes. Trust that this will lead you to the right place. I feel like this is a good way to close it out. I'm gonna read you a little ending of my Substacks. Maybe that's the miracle nobody talks about of outgrowing a friendship. How losing a best friend can return you to yourself in ways you never expected. And when that day comes, you don't need to announce it. You feel it in your body, in your peace, in the way you keep moving forward, in the way you finally stop waiting, in the way you realize the love you once gave so completely to someone else has finally found its way back home. I'm still here, more myself than I have ever been. This is the part I want to remember. Not that I lost someone, but I found myself in the space that they left behind. Life will always hold up a mirror to you. As I'm getting older, I'm realizing how powerful it is when you choose to look at yourself honestly, to make decisions based on what is being reflected back at you instead of what you wish you were seeing. There's no meaning without truth. Choice changes the direction of your life in so many ways. You are constantly being given opportunities to choose, to break a pattern, to stop accepting the bare minimum even when it comes to someone you deeply love. That doesn't make the choices easier, but wow, how beautiful those hard decisions can become. I chose to turn this experience into a life lesson, and in doing so, I learned so much more about myself, my patterns, shadows, coping mechanisms, the kinds of people I kept choosing, the parts of myself I abandoned. Somewhere inside all of this, I gained a part of myself that I no longer plan on giving away. I showed myself grace, I showed myself respect, choosing light, choosing truth, choosing yourself. Fuck being chosen, I chose me, and that changed everything. Go get to healing.
Welcome to the confessions of a 25-year-old black woman that's becoming more self-aware every day so I don't show up in the world as a delusional, annoying hoe. Let's get into some things. Baby, let me tell y'all how I've been losing friends left and right this year, and let me tell you why I don't care. I am a recovering people pleaser, so my whole life I have not been standing up for myself. I have been letting people do and say anything to me, even if it bothered me so much. Whether it was like little slick comments that people would make to try to humble me or embarrass me, or like little disloyal movements that people would do, I would honestly just let it roll off my bag, because for one, I hate confrontation, and once I take it there, baby, I'm taking it to hell. So I never really been creating like clear boundaries for my friendships. Like I never really discussed like what I like, what I don't like, how I like you to speak to me, how you're not going to speak to me. So yeah, if you let them hoes slide one time, they're gonna ice skate, and the girls have been ice skating, but I'm done with it. I don't know, it's because I just turned 25 and my frontal lobe is now fully developed, but like I realized nobody's gonna stand up for me like me. So in result to that, I have been telling these girls like it is, and they have been dropping like flies daily. Girl, real friends don't try to humiliate you in front of other people. Real friends don't try to humble humble you because they're intimidated by your confidence. Real friends don't try to compete with you. Real friends are not downplaying your accomplishments. Real friends are not jealous of what you have. Real friends are not looking at your man. Watch out for them hoes. So my advice for my fellow people pleasers is listen to your body. Your body is going to tell you before your mind does, okay? Your body's going to tell you if somebody's for you or not. Your body's going to be anxious as soon as you get around that person. Your body is already going to tense up before you can even say, hey. I'm telling you what I know and not what I heard. I would like to offer myself my most sincerest apologies for allowing the BS to go on for as long as it did. Oh, but baby, I can assure you that it'll never happen again. Thank you for watching.
Friendship trauma is so real, but nobody really talks about it because it's like everybody make it seem like a friendship is just like, oh, y'all not friends no more, it's not that serious. But reality, like, a friendship is like a heartbreak. Nobody understand. I was crying. I was literally balled up crying, and I couldn't eat, and it just felt like I had to restart life over without this person. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of feel like you wanted this to, you know, y'all had plans, and it's like it's not going how y'all had a plan, you know. And then also, like, I feel like I could have improved as a friend. Like, I feel like I could have improved in showing up more and being a better friend, such as being there for her more. Also, listening to her more. Like, I'm one of them people, like, I do self-reflect on how I could have been a better friend in a lot of situations and stuff like that. And I know I could have done better. And it's like, now that I'm older, I be looking back at things like I could have been a better friend. And I did reach out to some of my friends and apologize. And I told them I forgave them as well because I don't want my friends walking in unforgiveness. But at the same time, I don't want a relationship with them no more because I know it was what it was. But at the same time, I also think that everything happens for a reason. And I know that we all grow and live and learn. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes characteristics at that young age is still in you. I don't care what nobody say. Somebody can say, oh, well, I talked to somebody, man, when I was younger. You did it when you was younger. You would do it again. To me, I just feel like that right there, it's just going to always live in you. You might have them thoughts. You might have them type of, I just don't want nobody like that. And I feel like a lot of friendships was very traumatic because it was a lot of griminess with it. Like, a lot of people did grimy things. Like, I feel like friendships is levels to things. Like, when it comes to grimy stuff, that's like a whole nother. But when it comes to like something little, like, you know, something we can talk about or how you feel and stuff like that, I'm all cool with that. But when it comes to something disloyalty or grimy, I can't really get jiggy with it. That's why I would never be friends with none of my friends anymore. But at the same time, I know I could have improved a lot more as a friend in certain things. And yeah, I don't want to play victim in no situation. I always try to look at what I could have done better or how I could have improved in this relationship or how I could have improved in being a better human being. You know what I'm saying? I just really be looking at that because it's like, I want more friends and I want to show up more for my friend. I want to be a better friend. And I be thinking like, how can I be a better friend? How can I improve as in everything that I do? You know? I don't know.
My best friend of what would have been 20 years this year broke up with me 3 years ago, and I'm just now able to tell the story. I'm not gonna bore y'all with a whole bunch of background information. We have been best friends since 6th grade. No distance, no time, no whatever school she went to, whatever state she moved to, none of that had ever mattered. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the situation. At this point in our friendship, texts and calls had kind of slowed down because, you know, adulting, we're doing things. But whenever we talked, whenever we met up, it was like we never missed a beat. The love was always there. I could not have talked to her in 2 months, but if somebody had asked me who my best friend was, it's her, okay? At this point in our friendship, messages were like sporadic funny memes or sporadic funny messages to one another. On this day, I text her and I said, hey, you know, from one creative to the next, I've been going through creative block. What do you do to get through it? She didn't respond. And I really didn't think nothing of it because that was our flow. You know what I'm saying? My girl was busy. She was a very accomplished Black creator. Like, she was doing her thing. I asked her this, didn't get a response. I waited like a week or two because, like I said, that was our flow. I sent a little question mark reaction on the message that I sent her, still didn't get a response. I waited another week or two, still ain't got no response. So I playfully sent a message because this is how we kind of talk to each other. I said, this bitch don't want to be my friend no more. To which she responded something that I was not expecting. But she sent me a long message of things that apparently had been bottled up inside of her. I do remember like how the message started off, and I did delete the screenshot I want to say that same year, because I didn't want to go into the next year with that energy at all. So yeah, I'm not one of the screenshot keepers. I'm sorry. Message started off like, well, you should think about that when you not responding to messages. I went and I looked in Instagram, I looked in TikTok, I looked in our message thread that I was currently in, and I didn't see anything. That I saw like maybe 1 or 2 memes that I didn't respond to, but I'm like, did she send me something important? Did she send me like a voice message that I accidentally opened and it disappeared? Like, you know, I'm double checking. Another thing that she said was she didn't want a relationship where she was trauma bonding, and I'm like, trauma bonding? What? Girl, you made me push myself in the lip. What? Creative block? Me asking you about creative block is you're considering that trauma bonding? I was so confused in that moment because I was hurt. I responded with anger, and I do regret that. I was livid. I was like, what the hell do you mean? Like, you know, I ain't gonna even get into what I said. In hindsight, I actually feel like the way that I responded validated her reasons, whatever her reasons were for not wanting to be my friend anymore. But yeah, here we are. So yeah, I'm angry. I'm livid. I think the message did go through, but I don't think that she responded. Fast forward a couple of months, I tried to reach out to her. She had me blocked on all platforms. Mind you, me and her had never even argued. I don't know if I said this already, but we had never even argued before. We maybe had like a tiff here and a tiff there, but we had never really had any big arguments. There was nothing that would indicate, you know, this was coming. Fast forward a couple of months, I try to reach out to her, realize that she got me blocked on all platforms. I reach out to one of her cousins who I had met because me and her would always meet up for Mardi Gras. Half of her family was from Louisiana or from New Orleans, and so we would always meet up for Mardi Gras every year after high school. Hit up one of her cousins on Instagram. I kind of tell her the gist of what's happening. So she reaches out to my friend for me. My friend hits me up, and I'm basically like, hey, what can I do to mend this? And y'all, that is not like me. That is not in my character. I hate to say that, but I'm not the type to come like and ask questions or try to plead my case, or like, no, if you did me a certain way, I'm gonna just let it be. This was my girl. This was my sis. So I was like, I really want to mend this. I really want to know what I did wrong as a friend and what I could do to fix this. And she basically responded like, her friendship is not worth the fight. I could have threw up. In hindsight, maybe I was a little too wrapped up in life. I was always in survival mode. For a lot of our friendship, I was in the same relationship, and it was, you know, tumultuous. But I also got to the point in our friendship where I would keep that separate from her. Like, when we talk, we not talking about none of the drama. We not doing none of that. Like, I would protect our friendship from any turmoil that I had going on because it was precious to me. Because I was so wrapped up in survival mode and trying to get to the point that she was at in life, because she was very successful. I remember one time she had told me she had got her a brand new fancy vehicle. I'm not going to put it out there because I feel like there's too many details, but she had got her a brand new vehicle, and she had waited like 6 months to tell me. And it was because she had this feeling that the people in her life, or the people that were around her and her family, were hating on her. I told her, I said, girl, I would never hate on you. You are my inspiration. Like, I look at you like, girl, let me get on your level. That is what a real friend do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told, like, we had been through all of that. Been with her when she came out to, you know, being lesbian. I had no qualms about that. As a matter of fact, I told her, baby, I kind of already knew that. No love lost here. You're still my girl. You're still my sis. What do you mean? Like, we went through all of this together. I will say that I ain't never been a friend with money. I ain't never been and money gives you access to travel to see your friends. Money gives you access to go and do things with your friends. It gives you access to be able to buy things for them and show them, hey, I love you. Those are the things that I aspire to do, but I've just never been in a position to be able to do. Maybe my timeline wasn't moving fast enough for her. Like, I don't know what the issue was. Can only sit here and nitpick myself, and that just makes me feel bad. But it also made me self-evaluate to make sure that I was a good friend. Like, am I checking in on my friends' moms and their dads and their brothers and their sisters? Am I checking in on them? Help me reevaluate myself as a friend, because, you know, maybe I was lacking. But I also have to acknowledge my feelings and my truth, and that I feel as though our friendship was worth her talking to me. I thought we had built the type of friendship where she could say, hey, girl, you tripping. Hey, girl, you need to step your game up. Hey, girl, hey, look, I don't like how you moving. I felt like we had that kind of a friendship. And I've always been hesitant to tell this story because I've seen so many things, so many think pieces, so many memes about how I'll just cut you off without saying anything. And I do understand, I'm not invalidating people who do that, but I think that it's very circumstantial. Depends on what type of friendship you had. If a friendship that came with warning, I could see this happening. Like maybe if she had been told me, hey girl, you need to get your stuff together, and I'm still not getting my stuff together, okay, boom, baby, you gotta ghost me. But there was no indication. Like the last thing that we had probably done together was laugh. I was just really lost. Like, you haven't given me any warnings, any sign. You didn't tell me that I was at risk of losing our friendship. But I also have to sit here and understand that you don't owe me any explanation. And that I think that was one of the hardest pills to swallow, is that as much as I feel like you owe me an explanation, as a human being, you don't owe me one. But as a sister, like as the type of friendship that we had built, the type of communication, whether it was sparse or not, thought that we had that you could tell me if I was slipping as a friend. But such is life. And, you know, I've kind of had to muddle my way through this. I'm just now realizing this year that you could grieve a friendship this long. Oh yeah, I did send her a letter via email because that was the only way I could reach her at the end of that same year that she broke off the friendship. So that was 2023, December 31st, 2023, so that I could go into my 2024 with as free of a heart as I could to try to move forward with my life. I sent her a message just saying my piece. I told her that it's not to sway you back into friendship, it's not to disturb your peace. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just here to acknowledge my experience. And though I understand where some areas where I may have fell short, even though I'm not clear on that, these things I nitpick myself first, unfortunately, you know. But I did also end with acknowledging that two things can coexist. I could have also not been the best friend, but I do also think that it was wrong of how you decided to end the friendship with no warning, no sign, just a dump. And had I not pressed the issue, had I not sent more messages, I probably would have gotten nothing. And I think that is a weird way to end a 17-year friendship that had no warning, no indications, no arguments prior to this moment. So yeah, if you ever had a best friend breakup, tell me about it in the comments. What happened to you?
Story time on how I caught my 5-year best friend hooking up for months with my 4-month relationship with my old boyfriend at the time. So let me just get this story straight. Let me kind of like give you a little backstory. So me and this girl, we've known each other since 2nd, 3rd grade. And this story is like set in like 7th going to 8th grade. My best friend was always like much more, you can say like outgoing. She would always like take risks, like she didn't care. She wasn't scared to do anything. And like with guys, oh, she went ham-town with that shit. So obviously I knew she was a little freak, but obviously I didn't blame her for it. I was just like polar opposites, you know, like I was innocent, she was like a little freak. And one day I'm on a call with my boyfriend and my friend texts me and she's like, hey, like I want to go on a 2-man with you. We haven't gone on one in so long. Like it's been forever. Let's do it. And I haven't hung out with this girl in a fat minute. Like I'd known her in elementary school. After elementary school, we went to different middle schools. So it was like we were not really connected at the time. And I still knew her, like, and we still talked, but we haven't, like, seen each other in, like, a fat minute. Like, we still, like, talked, we still updated each other on stuff, you know, like, we were still best friends. But we weren't just as close as we used to be, you know? But one day, I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and she asked me, hey, do you want to go on a 2-man? Because we haven't went on one in so long. And I was like, oh my God, my boyfriend's best friend. Like, I read the message out loud, and my boyfriend was like, yo, my best friend's looking to go on a 2-man. Like, maybe we should go on a 2-man. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go on a 2-man. So I haven't seen this girl in forever, and I see her, and I'm like, oh my God, hey girl, like, how are you? And she's like, oh my God, hey, like, I haven't seen you in so long, I missed you so much, like, right? Like, we're rebonding, like, we're literally reunited. And I'm with my boyfriend too, and she meets the new guy, and it's like, they're going great. Like, we've been on FaceTime all together before. The 2-man, sorry guy, the 2-man, we were all like on the phone together before the 2-man, like, we knew each other pretty well. But in the middle of the hangout, like, it's going great. I think it's going great. I'm having so much fun. I leave to go to the restroom for like a couple minutes. My best friend doesn't like want to come, so I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just go to the restroom myself, like, you know, right? And so they're just all alone, and we're at the mall, and they're just all alone, and I'm in the bathroom for like 10 minutes, like I'm doing my makeup, whatever. And so I come back out, and then my boyfriend has like this really like weird expression on his face. And then her guy, he's just kind of like looking away, like he's like this. And my best friend just has like the biggest smile on her face. So I'm like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, do you look sad because you miss me? He was like, yeah. And I was like, wait, like, why are you upset? And so I pulled him over to talk, and he was like, I'm fine, like, leave it alone, like, I'm fine. I was like, okay. After that, the hangout became kind of dull, but it was fine because it was like the end of it. Like, we were all about to leave. We were all tired, so I kind of assumed it was that. But I also assumed that he was mad at me, so I called him afterwards. And we were on the phone, and the first thing that he tells me, he's like, I don't want you to be mad at me. I'm like, okay, I won't be mad at you. He was like, your best friend was, like, literally, like, all up on me. Like, and I was like, whoa, what do you mean? Like, I was literally with you guys, like, the whole time. Like, what do you mean my best friend was all up on you? He was like, when you went to the restroom, my best friend, like, walked away for a little bit to call his mom, and your best friend was hitting on me. I literally was like, no way she would do that. I was like, no way she would do that. It's my best friend. Like, I've known her since, like, 2nd grade. She wouldn't do that to me. And he was like, I swear, like, and that's like, why am I in a bad mood? And I was like, okay. But I left it alone because I did not want to start drama with this girl, especially because I haven't seen her in so long, and, like, this is the first time I've seen her in, like, a month or something, you know? But, like, now I know in my mind to, like, keep her away. Like, I just, like, was like, she told me that she wasn't really fucking with the guy that she was, like, with, so, like, we just won't go on a 2-man again because I don't want her, like, to pull anything on my boyfriend, so it's fine. We just won't do anything with my boyfriend again. It's fine. We won't get into any beef. It's fine. I knew that they had each other added, but, like, I didn't know that they were texting. I thought that they had each other added for, like, photos and shit from the group chat. And now I'm, like, in 8th grade. And so I'm with my boyfriend, and we're still together. Like, now it's, like, 5 months, 6 months, something like that. And my best friend she started going to the same middle school as me when I was in 8th grade. And I kid you not, I literally thought nothing of it because my best friend, like, I haven't, like, heard of the situation in, like, what, months, like, you know? But I was just so happy that she was here, and I'm so happy that, like, I got a friend, like, at my school. One day, I see them literally, because in our old school, we had, like, these bathrooms that were for the staff, and they had, like, multiple stalls, but, like, literally everybody snuck in there, you know, like, it wasn't really, like, for, like, the staff. Like, it was mostly for the students. Not really, like, students were allowed in there, but, like, nobody went in there. So my best friend and my boyfriend, I remember I was walking downstairs to go use the restroom, not the staff restroom, like, the actual restroom that I needed to use. And so I see them, and they're walking side by side going to the staff restroom. And this staff restroom is literally known for people doing stuff. And so I saw them walking. I was like, hey, guys, right? Because I didn't really know what else to say. And they were literally about to, like, walk into, like, the hallway for the staff restroom. And in that hallway, it's literally, like, kind of like a dead end. So it's like this. It goes like a box. And the staff restroom is, like, on the side. So, like, they would just go in there and go in the side. And they were literally right about to walk into that hallway. And I was like, hey, guys. And they turned around with the most scared face on their lips. They're like, oh, hey, Millie. And my boyfriend, like immediately walks up to me. He's like, hey, my love, like, and hugs me. My best friend has the nastiest look on her face. She looks like she wanted to strangle me with, like, all the force in her that she could. He hugged me like this. I hugged her, like, him like this, and my head was, like, above his shoulder. I saw her face. She was like this. Later on, I kind of got a little bit suspicious because what the fuck was that? And I've seen them later on walk with each other in the hallways, like, multiple times. And they would always have, like, the same thing always happen. And one day when me and my friend were at the lunch table, I remember she went up to go leave because we had, like, different lunches, and me and my boyfriend didn't have, like, the same lunch period at the time. And so we had different lunches, and me and this girl had the same lunch together. So she left her phone on the table, and I knew her password. I was a little bit suspicious, and I was, like, literally just trying to get the weight off of my chest. Like, I knew that I knew she wouldn't do that, like, wada. So I went through her phone, and I looked through every single platform where her and her boyfriend, and my boyfriend could have been messaging. I'm talking Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter. Like, I'm not joking. Like, they had each other added on everything. Instagram, I don't know if I said that. But literally on Instagram, I went through his DMs and I saw him reply to her story saying, oh my gosh, like, I wanna you right now. This was like at 11:59 at night. I was asleep, and this was on a Tuesday. What the fuck? Like, what the So I'm like, oh my god, there is no way that they're not texting more on like different accounts. I go on WhatsApp. I look through their messages. It's all the times that they hung out when I didn't know. Like, this is like during the summer too, summer 7th going to 8th grade. They were hanging out and they were hooking up for months. Months. Like, literally, like, I was like, what the fuck? And I saw like nudes. Like, I literally could not. Like, I was so mad. My best friend comes back. I'm holding her phone like this. I look at her, she like walks up. I look at her and I fucking turn the phone around. She stands there like, and I'm like, what the I got into a whole argument with this girl in the cafeteria. It ended up being so bad that I got sent to the office. It got all resolved. We like just kind of told the office like some bullshit story. After that, I went to my boyfriend in school and I slapped him across the fucking face. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was like, what? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You were fucking hooking up with my best friend for months. The whole school is watching at this point. The administrators are coming and we're just yelling back and forth at each other. Like, and I've never seen him yell like that. And then it got to the point where he literally pushed me and I was like, oh hell no. I like slapped him again. And then the administrator came and I was like literally like about to full on attack this boy and this little girl, but I couldn't because of fucking administrator. I got suspended for like what, 3-4 days, and now they're together. I hope you guys have a good like little life, because what the fuck was that? Also, by the way, girl, if he could do that shit to me, imagine what he's gonna do to you. Think about that shit, girl. You're not fucking stupid. And also, since I've known you since like fucking elementary school and you decided to ruin our trust just like that, fuck you. Go find yourself another girl best friend, because you know damn well none of them knew as much as I knew. Bye.